What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Truth Carpet. This is episode 10, and you are tuned in with your girl. It's me, Simone Loud, and as always, I'm with my bestie.
Unique love.
Oh, I love how you said that. It sounded like a recording. You know, when you're talking, you've reached
My
the voicemail box of
unique love.
Yes, how you doing? How you been? I'm not with you now. I'm not
No,
there.
I was starting to get used to you being here.
Right? I think that's the longest I've ever stayed at
Yep,
the house.
yep. That's the longest. And you were just like family here.
I know, I miss my room.
I've been, other than, getting used to you not being here again, I've been doing okay. This was a pretty smooth week, and it was also really fast. Like, I feel like it sped by. I was like, dang, okay. It's a weekend again, but no complaints here.
Right.
How are you? Being back home after 5-10 weeks.
It wasn't that long. It was just two, girl. It was just 2 weeks. Girl, I'm hot. I'm hot. That's how I am. I'm hot. I swear it's hotter out here than it was when I went out there to visit you. I got off the plane and it was 95 degrees. I was like,
Dang.
we having a heat wave. California is having a heat wave. Just crazy. I'm like, why is it so hot? So I got the fan going, window open, ice cold water, baby. Like, girl, it's like the type of weather where I don't want to take a hot shower. I need to take like a cold or like a lukewarm shower because by the time you get out the shower, you feel like you need to take another shower.
Word. I hope y'all done with the fires though.
Nope. I just read that it's been, I can't remember how many acres of fires there were, but there was another fire caused by a gender reveal party. They made some type of bomb or something.
What?
That set off more fires.
Wow.
Within the last week. I can't remember what day it was, but it was on CNN.
Y'all out of hand.
I'm like, what? First of all, gender reveal parties, that's a whole nother subject that I would love to talk about. Sometimes I don't understand them. I feel like it's just an extra way to spend money. Just have
Exactly.
But anyway, why y'all making these extravagant things to reveal the gender? A bomb? Lord help them.
If we don't have enough going on. But anywho, I'm glad that you had a great time here and you went to Philly.
Yes,
so,
I did. First time there. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. Got to spend time with family. That's always fun because I don't get to do that often. I'll be back though. Sooner than you think. I'm gonna be back. I'm not even gonna tell you this time. I'm just gonna pop up.
Like, I looked at my peephole though. I'm gonna think it's an Amazon package first though. All right, so what we have? Nizex.
You know I gotta give the rundown. Why you look frozen, yo?
I was trying my best. I was trying to look like I was frozen.
But your cheeks moved.
Dang it.
All right, y'all. So on this episode of Truth Carpet, we're starting off with a question in our dorm story about when we thought that we would be married with children. Then we're going to jump into Suite 223, and I'm going to be reciting Addle Amity from Love Loud Volume 2. And for our hot topics, I'm actually really excited about this one. We're going to be discussing psychic visits. Have we been to one? What was our experience like? Will we recommend it to others? This is going to be very insightful, I promise.
Very.
And then in our scenario section, we have a nice little story to have you tuned into as far as psychic readings go. And then, of course, last but not least, is the announcement that you don't want to miss out on because there may be something special in store for you that you don't want to miss. Be there or be square.
2 sevens.
All right. So, you ready to jump into our dorm story section?
Yes, girl.
Let's get it.
All right, Moni. I feel like I start that way every time. All right, Moni.
Yes.
At what age did you think you'll be married with children?
Married with children. I thought that by the time I was 25, I would be married with at least one child and have a house. Like I was just going to be living in some type of luxury, I guess. But I laugh at it now because clearly I'm single, no kids, and I'm not even looking at houses yet. So the timing that I had in my head is nowhere near compared to where I am now. It's not time yet. That timeline is actually ridiculous. Not when I really sit
And
and think
pass,
about it.
right?
Right. What about you? Like, where did you see yourself with children and a hubby?
I thought it would be somewhere between the ages of 23 and 25. Like, because at that time, I was still thinking it was going to be with my, I was going to say high school, my college sweetheart. And I thought, after undergrad, we would kick it off and be together with 2 children. But so I thought I'll be married by 23, 25, and then after 2 years, we'll have kids. But all of this I thought would happen before 30.
See, that's still a part of me though. Like by the time I do get married, I want to enjoy my marriage before I actually have kids. Like that part still sticks with me. Like I thought the same thing. Like, okay, I'm gonna get married and then like a year or two we'll enjoy each other and then we'll have kids. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I guess I just have to see what happens, but ideally that's like what I see in my head. To enjoy my marriage for a little bit before we actually have children.
Yeah, because the honeymoon phase is not just like that period where you go on a trip, but honeymoon phase can last a few years. And I still feel like I would want to enjoy us as a legal item before we bring children into the world, because I don't want my marriage to become something that is defined by us having this new house and signing papers, because a lot of people's marriage can fall apart because of that, because you see now your union is you with your children, and then now your children grow up and leave your house. It's like, okay, what are we? So I want to make sure, of course, we had the boyfriend girlfriend stage and being fiance stage, but who are we as married couple? I want to be able to set that ground before we bring children into the mix. But we'll see what God
What he has
has
in
for
store,
me.
you never know. You won't know until the door is open.
Mm.
All right, y'all. In this section of Suite 223, I will be reciting Addle Amity from Love Loud Volume 2. This time, my heart cries to rely on more than your word. I love you. And if you don't love me back, I need to know that. Don't worry about my heart. Don't consider my feelings. But if you really feel me, you'll understand that all I want is the truth. Your eyes tell a story that I can't read, anticipating a new chapter, yet the pages won't turn. Should I read between the lines or accept these blank pages as is and admit that I need a cleanse from your animosity? I hate being confused. I yearn for honesty. I want to be free of regret, yet I stay and endure your nescience. Or is it all in my head? Allowing times that have passed to resurface against the glass, creating a foggy reality, moving through life with a blurred interpretation of what's real. You love me, but do I love you back? You need to know that. Should I consider your heart? Should I consider your feelings? Patiently waiting for me to answer? Your benevolence I envy. Having emptied my feelings long before I met you, unsure of the next phase, dazed and distracted, acting out of character, the narrator of my own demise. This time, my heart cries to rely on more than just your word. I love you.
Snap it up, snap it down, snap it all around. That was a good poem. Inspiration. Was it me? Or was it he? Or was it he?
So for this piece, for those that don't know, Addle is like confusion, unsure, and Amity deals with a friendship, a relationship. So a confused relationship, which in the poem, that's really how I felt when I wrote it. And I
Mm-hmm.
wrote it based off of me wanting to be in love again, but not knowing how I will feel once I'm there again. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I know how it feels to be in love. I know how it feels to be when I'm with you, but am I ready to tell you that? Because the last time I told somebody this, it didn't turn out the way that I expected it to. Can I believe you when you tell me that you love me? Is this like, is it true? Is it honest? Like, will I truly trust this relationship? Like, I like the relationship the way that it was before you told me that you love me. And now that you told me that you love me, now it's on a whole nother level of what this actually is.
Right.
And I want to make sure that it's real. And I knowing me, when that time does come, I'm gonna be real hesitant about that person that I'm with in that sense, just because it's like, okay, I'm here. I don't want to mess it up. I want this to work. I'm ready to be in love, but is it supposed to be you? I don't know.
I wasn't expecting that. It's supposed to be you.
So yeah, it's just that matter of confusion, but wanting to be in love and not knowing if this is it.
Yeah, it's that vulnerability factor. Do you think that it's meant for us to have one love? Like if you're feeling that in the moment that you love that person, is it wrong to let them know even though they may not end up being your spouse or your soulmate or your forever love?
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I also believe that there's a difference between loving someone and being in love with someone. Like I can have a lot of love for you and care for you and be here for you and, willing to make like certain sacrifices for you as a person that I care about. But as far as being in love, it's been so long since I've had that connection with someone. It's just kind of like, ooh, okay, I'm tiptoeing. I'm tiptoeing just to make sure that I'm trying to protect myself from being hurt again, which is
Mm-hmm.
which is hard, but just going into it very cautiously and taking as much time as needed to just fill it out. Taking my toe and just dipping it into the
Oh
water.
my God, not the little chubby toes.
Dang, why you gotta get on my toes like that? Everybody talking about your little tiny little pinky toe.
That's a secret. Well, thank you, Moni, for sharing your poem with us. I'm sure a lot of us can resonate with it, and it can be scary and confusing to let that other person know how you feel, because you don't know how they're feeling, what they're thinking, or if things might change after you tell them, which is what I was thinking of. But it can be nerve-wracking and getting into it,
Right.
So,
Absolutely. I know what you want to do.
what I want to do.
You want to sing for me.
All right, y'all. So let's mosey on over. That's what someone always say. Mosey on over to the next segment, which is hot topics.
Come on now. That was like one of the driest hot topics that you've ever done. Like,
I
can I
thought
please get
I was
some
trying because I feel like every time I'm excited, I'm like, ah! Like it'd be so bad. All right, hold up. Let me get a little bit excited, but not too excited. All right, let me lick my lips. All right. High top. Hold up. Let me get my water. All right, so let's get started with our hot topics. I had the pleasure of having my best friend come visit me, and we had a great time. And during her visit, we went to the Jersey Shore. Fist pump, fist pump. Yes. We went to the Jersey Shore, and we're thinking about going to the Jersey Shore. I was like, Moni, we got to go see a psychic. So today's hot topic is all about our psychic visit. And I'm excited to talk about this because it went unexpectedly. And this was something that, like, literally after we went to see the psychic, Moni and I was talking about it the whole time we were on the boardwalk, driving home, the next day, everything. I was
Right.
like, this is definitely going to be our next topic. Let's talk to the people about it. Maybe they can resonate with it, or maybe they're skeptical of seeing a psychic, or maybe they just might get some juicy details from us. So let's do it, girl. Let's get into it. All right. So first question, Moni, before going to the psychic with Yaya, have you ever been to a psychic before?
Nope, this was the first time. I've always been interested in going at some point just to try it out and see how the experience is. So when you brought it up and said to go, I was like, all right, cool, I'm down.
Were you nervous at all when I asked you to go?
No, actually, I
Okay.
wasn't at all. I wouldn't say I was nervous until I actually sat in the chair and she started talking to me.
Okay.
I think I got nervous at that point. But before it was like, what? Let's just do this. Let's just go ahead and get over. Let's sit down.
All right. So it's good to know that you were with it, because a lot of people, like, even for me, so my answer is yes, I've been to a psychic before, but I don't trust to ask everybody, or I'm not comfortable with just asking anybody to come with me. So it's good to know that you were down for it going.
Girl, you know I'm
So
down with you for most things. So hey.
so for me, I've been to a psychic twice. I've been one time in northern Jersey, and then I've been another time in DC with friends. So one was like, I felt like I really, really wanted to go because I was going through something tough at that time. And then another time it was like, we in another, area, let's just do this for an experience. The first time that I went, I had a tarot card reading, which was trash, in my opinion, at that time. I felt like the psychic was based in my reading off of not just like what the cards read, because you don't know, it's just pictures on the card. You don't really know what they mean if you don't study the cards. But based off of like the age that I gave her and the city that I lived in, and then I'm Black and I'm younger, all this stuff, I felt like she was reading me, not reading me, if you get what I'm saying. So, like, for example, she told me at that time that I wasn't happy with my job. And then she told me that I was going to revisit some situations with this guy. She's getting a J. She's getting a J. Like, it's a guy with a J. So as far as the employment, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I just graduated grad school. I got this good job. Like, everybody else is like still trying to find employment. I'm happy at my job. Like, what are you talking about? And then the guy with the J, I literally, honestly, I put my head down and I started laughing, because that person is somebody that I did want to revisit things with. But I just, at that time, think I hadn't spoken to him for months. Like, that was the longest I haven't spoken to him. So I kind of didn't see it coming. So yeah, so I laughed at that situation. And then I was just like, forget what she said. None of that's true. Like, whatever. She's lying. But now that it's 2020, I can now tell you that after maybe like 6 months, 5 months, I started hating my job. Like, I started to get a headache.
What?
Yes, I started getting a headache every time I thought of work, going to work. I found out that they were not even paying me what my salary was supposed to be. Like, just a whole bunch of horrible stuff going on. Like, the union had to get involved, everything. And then the guy with the J, I don't remember how soon after, but we did, reconnect several times afterwards. Like, kept reconnecting with the guy, even though I thought that the situation was done. He just kept popping back in my life, and I kept letting him. I kept inviting him. And then aside from that, like, I did a few sessions on the psychic app. But all in all, like, with them, the psychics told me, the only thing that correlated was they all told me that I would like something about a guy with a J, that I would have a successful life career-wise, get married, and have 2 children. And then one of them told me I was going to die of natural causes, like natural life. But I don't remember what age she told me I was going to pass away at. I don't even really think I want to remember that part.
Oh, see, that's the part I don't want to know. I don't want a life reading. I don't want to know how I'm gonna die, when I'm gonna die. I don't want to know all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because how did you like feel doing your first reading?
When I was driving there, I was nervous. Like, I remember, I don't drive with both hands, if I drive with hands at all. I was like tense, holding on the steering wheel, like, in the dark. Like, I think it was around this time of year, and I was driving like 8 p.m., 8:30, trying to get to the psychic, and I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. That was my first time having a reading at all. And then I remember her turning over a death card and card with swords. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, this is scary. But I did ask for the tarot card because that was the cheapest one. I think that was like $30 or something. So I paid for that, and I didn't even ask her that question of like my death and stuff. This is just stuff that she just willingly told me.
I think the most that I've ever done, just like listen to general readings on YouTube. Like I've done that, and I've only started doing that recently, and surprisingly, they resonate with me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why going to the psychic and getting tarot in person, I was down. I was like, okay, well, it's about my time now, so let's just go ahead and see what this is all about. Let me get this experience and
Yeah.
get this off my checklist of things that I want to do.
I like the YouTube ones because, like you said, it does resonate with you. But then also with learning from you, like, you can listen to your moon sign and these signs. So it's cool to go in person and get a personal reading,
Yeah.
opposed to like a general reading that's online. So you mentioned the YouTube thing. What led you to, aside from me inviting you, like what said, okay, I'm going to sit in a seat. I'm going to actually pay for services instead of just like listening to me get a reading.
Because you didn't want to go first. That's why. You was nervous for some reason. You're like, oh
I
no,
was.
Moni could go. And I was like, oh, okay, well, shoot. I'll do it. Hey, girl, how much is it? Oh, we asked the difference between like a tarot and a psychic. And then we found out that it was a mix. Psychic was a mix between like tarot and psychic reading. But she said she was feeling very psyche that day. So I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and get that one. Might as well. And I had exact change.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, it's meant to be. I don't know. I was really excited. I was amped.
Okay. So basically for you, it was like a new experience
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
supporting your BFF.
Right, supporting you too, because we got to sit in there with each other, so that was nice too.
Yeah.
Because I thought she was gonna say that we had to leave, but I guess yeah, our energies weren't, messing up the flow of the reading, so that was cool too.
Right. Yeah, I thought she was gonna kick me out too. I remember saying that. I was like, oh, maybe I have to go. And she was like, no, but if I feel distracted, I'll kick you out. And I was like, okay, thanks for being real, girl. So I remember on that exact day, I woke up like feeling mad off to the point where I hit up somebody who has the same sun signs as me. I was like, yo, are you feeling off today? Like, is something off? And he was like, no, I'm good. I'm going to work out, doing this. I was like, dang, like something's off. And I could not like get away from it. And you were there.
I sure was.
And typically, like when I feel like that, I just lock myself in my room, try to take a nap, things like that, or just go for a ride and then I'll shake it off. But I couldn't shake it off. We were trying to get through a meeting. And you were like, are you going to be okay? Like, I'll be okay after we go to the beach. He was like, well, let's just go to the beach.
Girl,
So I
yeah, I
knew.
got up immediately. I was like, we not doing this. I can't check the vibe. Let me go put on my bathing suit right now. To the beach we
Yes.
go.
The reason why I think I felt like that was because the morning before, I had therapy session after 3 weeks. And I spoke with my therapist and it had me like shaking up because she really put me into check. Like a situation that I don't want to tell the people I'm not comfortable with that, but I had gone through a situation and I changed my perspective to put blame on that person, and I wasn't taking accountability for some things that I like, red flags that I didn't look at and things like that. And after that session, I just like cried. Like I was in my room crying, and I was like, I want to go to Moni, but I can't go to Moni because I don't want to upset her. So I just cried in my room. And then I like let that go for the rest of the day. But then the next morning, like the patterns that I had been used to the last 3 weeks still wasn't occurring, I guess. And it bothered me. So I was like, I know today's beach day. I know it's going to be a psychic there. I want to go see the psychic. Maybe that will help, like give me some answers and I can shake this off.
Mm.
And I just felt like I needed to be told, like from a human, what was something I could look forward to or something that I need to let go of. So that's why I wanted to go. And I got the same services that you did.
Sure did. We got the same thing.
So what did you feel like you learned or what stood out from you from this experience?
Okay, so overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what to expect, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it's just the fact that I was just like, okay, so let me just sit here because we had no intention of leaving. So it was just like, okay, if y'all don't want to go first, you know what? Let me just go ahead and sit down. Let me go ahead and just, hear what this woman has to say because she a psychic. Okay, psychic. That's that's how I was feeling.
You
Like,
tell me my name.
right? What you gonna tell me about me? What you think you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of had that attitude. And the first thing she said to do was to take my hands. She shuffled the cards to put my hands on the card, close my eyes, take a deep breath, and make a wish.
Mm-hmm.
My wish was long, y'all.
She said, make a wish.
It was
That means
one
one.
long wish. I didn't say I wish, I wish, I wish. I said I wish. Like I wish for a category of things, like things for my family, me
Mm-hmm.
personally, career wise, emotionally, just things that I've been thinking about a lot lately. And as soon as I opened my eyes, she was like, "You have a lot going on, and you're not happy where you are." I was like,
Hey.
"Oh, okay." I'm listening. My ears perked up. I'm like, okay, but what exactly is she going to tell me?
Mm-hmm.
So right after that, she proceeded to let me know that I'm a free spirit that likes to move around. I can't stay in one place for too long, and that I'm currently trying to figure out what's next for me because I'm ready to be creative. And I'm like, well, this is all very true. Continue, keep talking. Okay, honey, keep talking. But specifically, there were a few things that stood out to me that had me like, hold up. Wait a minute,
Minute.
lady. Have you been to my house? Have you met my family? Like, this is my first time meeting you. So
Mm-hmm.
it started to make me a little nervous because also too, before I get into the things, sitting there, I wasn't sure like what I should say and shouldn't say since it was my
Mm-hmm.
first time. Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, you asking me stuff that you aren't you supposed to have an answer? Like, why are you asking me all these questions to help drive your answers?
Right.
So I was confused in that sense. Like, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to lead her to like tell
Mm-hmm.
me what she think I want to hear. But anyway, what stood out to me the most at the top of the list, she told me specifically, you're going to move here. Now we're in Jersey. So I'm like, that could mean Jersey, New York, East Coast. I don't know. That could somewhere on that side of the states. And it struck me because literally 2 days prior to that,
2 days.
sitting in Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
and I was saying how I could see myself living in Bushwick. I really like
Mm-hmm.
the area because it reminds me of home, Oakland, Berkeley-ish. I can really see myself living there. So when she said, you're going to move here, I was like, what?
Bro, I looked up. Mind you, I was sitting behind Moni because I didn't want my energy to poke out. But I was like, yo, like we were just having this conversation the other day. How you know that? That
Right,
was
like, were you at the
crazy.
table? Was you at brunch
She was at
too, Susan?
brunch. She
So
was there.
that like shocked me, and I'm like, okay, well, shoot. So,
What the eyebrows?
girl, it's hot in here, sweating everywhere. So, like I said, I don't know if she literally meant like here, like Jersey, New York, but I'm just gonna say East Coast. It could
Mm-hmm.
just be like here, over there. Here could mean literally over there, because she didn't give me anything specific. The next thing was that she knew I had two biological siblings. She kept saying, there's three of you. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, nah, lady, it's four of us. I got three sisters. She's like, but she specifically said, how many biologically? And I was like, oh, two.
Let's roll it back. Let's roll it back. She said, feel like it's three. I feel three. How many siblings do you have?
Four.
Simone said, well, it's me and my three sisters. And Susan looked at her and she was like, biologically. And then she was like, oh, I got two sisters. She's like, yeah, it's three of y'all. It's three of y'all.
I was like, oh, okay. Susan here getting real specific. Okay, she
Mm-hmm.
knew what she was talking about. And then, so that struck me. But then right after that, she was like, and one of them is going through something. Stay out of it. And it was true. And I was like, and me as a big sister, I want to help and do what
Mm-hmm.
I can. But at the same time, I can't always do what I feel is best because it's
Mm-hmm.
not always the right answer. I need to let them tell me what they need from me. So I was
Right.
like, oh my goodness. And she's not the first person to tell me to stay out of it and mind my business. So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm going to take it as is. All right, it's solidified. Leave it alone. Stay out of it. Mind your business. Also, she knew I hadn't written in a while. And I'm like, okay. But she also thought I was going to be inspired soon. So now I'm not sure if it was because she placed it in my head. But during the car ride home, I came up with this great idea, and I haven't had an idea spark in my brain for writing in I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how long. Now I'm not gonna say what the idea is. I'm just gonna work on it
You
and put
saw I
it
set
into
up
the
though.
world. I know, right? But now I'm like really excited. I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't know if it's this project specifically that she was talking about, but she did mention that, I would have inspiration to write again. And it came to me this within the same evening. And I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, since that day, I've been receiving a lot of opportunities to share my work, whether it's for blogging, screenwriting, or short stories. Like, information keeps being sent my way that has to do with me sharing my work. And she
Wow.
did say that somebody's going to see it and something's going to happen with my writing. My writing of some sort is going to come across someone, and something's gonna happen. Don't know when. All I know is
It's not meant for you to know.
It's not meant for me to know. But she just said, but I have to write. It's not gonna happen if I don't write. So all these opportunities that are coming my way, I just need to act on all of them because any of those could take me anywhere.
Right.
And then the last thing that shocked me, she knew I had my heart broken twice. And I consider my heart being broken twice, like somebody I've cried and boo-hooed over, like, oh my God, one of those, like an ugly cry. And I was like, okay. And she basically told me they may try to come back, don't go back.
She was like, nope, done.
No more.
No more.
If they try to come back, don't go back. And I was like, I have no plans on doing that at all. But thank you for the reminder. But she also said that I won't have any kids until I'm in love. And which is true because I always say I won't have any kids until I'm married. But I would hope that when I get married, I am in love. So that fit hand in hand. But she also said, like, the next guy that I'm with, like, that would be the guy. And I'm like, I don't know. And then she gave me these 4 letters. It could be first name, last name. And I'm like, lady, I don't know nobody with these letters except one. But it could be one of those other 3 letters. I don't know. So I'm like, I'm just going to live my life. You know, I'm probably watch me forget about the letters. I'm going to forget and I'm going to end up meeting somebody. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to come back to the paper years later and be like, oh, wow.
While you cleaning your attic.
Right. While I'm cleaning something, it's going to fall out of a book or something. I'm going to be like, oh my goodness, when I'm 34 with my 3 kids, because that's what she said that I was going to have 3 kids by 34. I'm like, well, Susan, I'm single right now. I'm just going to have to sit and wait and see how things pan out. I'm not really too much into trying to like force anything to happen just based off because she said it.
Right.
I'm just going to see what happens. So y'all, we'll check back in 4 years and see if I have 3 kids by somebody that I'm in love with. Hopefully we married. Yeah, by the end of it, it was like a lot of information thrown at me because what I just told y'all is not even everything. But I was so emotional by the end, like I had to cry. I wanted to cry while I was sitting there because y'all.
I just remember while listening to your reading, like I said earlier, I was trying not to react because I didn't want her to kick me out. But like when she was saying some things like mentioning you feeling like connected to a spirit, which we knew was your grandma, and like the stuff about your sisters and career wise, like her picking up on those things, I'm just like, wow, this is wild that she knows all of this information. So I love that she didn't just like speak futuristically and say these things are going to happen, but she was like, you went through this, or you have this, like giving solid facts of what you had already encountered and what's going on in your life that you can say, yeah, definitely, yes, okay, I'm intrigued, let me know some more stuff, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that was really dope.
Come on, girl. Give them yours. What did Susan tell you by the seashore?
For me, like I said, Susan was pretty dope. With my reading, it helped me to be at ease. Like when we left, like Simone said, she was crying. Cause that was her first psychic reading. And I left out like, you wanna go on a roller coaster? You wanna go get the funnel cake? So I had a good time. But some things definitely assured me. Like, for example, she said that there was this guy that I had been on and off again with. And she was like, who is he? And I told her his name is Jay. And she was like, no more, it's done. And it was funny because prior to this, a few months ago, me and Jay ended up speaking again. Our normal on and off again, every 4-6 months on and off again. But this time I didn't set boundaries and I told myself I was not going to ghost him. I was just going to let it ride out because I was tired of this on and off again pattern for years, y'all, for years that I had gone with him. Naturally, it ended with us and I was like, okay. But I guess the confirmation from her saying, it's definitely done. I was like, oh, thank you. Like, it's definitely done. But aside from that, what stood out were the things that she mentioned that she saw coming from me, like out of nowhere. Like, Moni said that she mentioned she was going to move. And she did tell you New York. She said, I see New York. And that's when we started laughing. For me, she was like, you're going to be going places. I see you traveling. I see San Francisco. And I look back at Moni.
Girl, that's what my eyes, I was like, what? You've been talking about San Francisco forever.
Yes, for the last year and some months, I've been saying, I want to go to San Francisco. I want to go to San Francisco. So for her to say that specifically, that was crazy. Like, bro, like, I definitely do want to go to San Francisco. Thanks for letting me know that I
Right.
am going to San Francisco. And then what really hit me was she told me that I had been struggling spiritually. And I did, like, was it last year? So at the end of last year, I had stopped going to church. Like, I pulled myself out of activities because I felt like a disconnect, like things weren't going well. And that's not something that I don't even think I spoke to you, Simone, about that. Only one time I said it out loud because my cousin mentioned it to me, saying like, "Oh, you stopped going to church." Da, 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 da. And I was like, well, it wasn't because I just wanted to stop going to church. It's because of X, Y, and Z of like how I was feeling. So for her to know that, I was like, wow, like, I know ain't nobody come down here and tell you that I was dealing with something spiritually. So for you to say that, it was like, okay, you got my full attention. Then she said something about me overextending myself. And she was like, what do you do? Like, how many jobs? She said, what do you do? And then she said, how many jobs do you have? Oh, I do this and I do that and then that and a side gig here
A
and a
list
side
of,
gig there and
I'm
a
like, dang,
boom
I
ba
didn't
ba
even
da
know
ba
you did
da
all
ba
of
da
that. I
da.
was like, damn, girl.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, you're overextending yourself. You need to focus on this. Like your main job, you're gonna take off from that. Start like focusing on that. And I was like, wow. Again, I was like, wow, because I was like, I need to buy the books, I need to study, I need to get licensed, I need all these things to happen. And for her to say that, it was another thing of reassurance. And then she was like, someone recently passed away in your family. You like just had a passing. I was like, bro, like, who are you and who sent you? I had a passing. I think it was March. My great grandpa passed away, and even with that, I didn't really tell many people because we're like COVID going on, and we getting bad news all the time. And I'm not like, I hate to say this for this, but like I'm not an attention whore. And I didn't really want to like seem like I'm crying for help and things. So I didn't talk much about my grandfather passing to people either. So that was like another thing. And then the icing on the cake. So when I first spoke to the other therapist, I told y'all, I felt like she was quote unquote reading me because I told her where I was from and my age and everything. So with that, I felt like it was more of assumptions. But for Susan, when she was like, I feel like your parents, they were together and they separated. They divorced when you were 4. She didn't say what age did your parents separate or anything. She told me they divorced when you were 4. And I was like, bro, like, the exact age, that they divorced and not just like broke up. That was crazy. So all of those things, it just made my ears perk up. Like, I'm more in tune. I ain't even at all. I did not focus on the cards on the table because it was just more so of like what she was saying. It didn't feel like that was where her focus was at because, like you mentioned earlier with the YouTube, because we both watch the YouTube videos here and there,
Mhm.
and with the YouTube, they be looking at King of Swords, King of Swords. I feel like it's saying da 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 da. Like she will flip the card over, but she will say like what the card is, but then she'll just speak.
Right.
So I was just like, wow. So again, Moni mentioned in the beginning, you put your hand over the card and then you make a wish. I wish to know about my love life and my career life. So I had a double. And she ended up telling me that don't focus. You focused on trying to find love. Love will come to you soon. Don't worry about that. Relax. Have fun, girl. Let loose and have fun.
Oh, I was
And
like,
I
oh,
was like,
tell her, Susan. I told her the same thing.
and so many people have been telling me that, like my cousin, guy friends that I talk to, they're like, just have fun, just have fun. Then she also told me, she said I will be married by 33 and have 2 kids, 2 healthy children. I will be financially stable and that just let loose, just have fun, enjoy myself. So I was like, okay, like, okay, thank you, Susan, or whatever. I'll just let go. But then with the letters, so there comes a point where like she writes down 4 letters and she wrote down for me a B, M, K, T, and a R. And then with the K, she was like, cross off, no good, no good. Like, who are these people? She's like, they're all men. They're people who you either know now or you're going to meet. And I was like, who? I don't know who this K is. I don't know none of these letters. She was like, you're gonna know them. And she's like, and it's somebody that you're dealing with right now. I was like, Susan, I ain't got nobody. I'm single. Like, I ain't got nobody calling my phone, texting. She was like, well, you were either dealing with him now or you just dealt with him. And I was like, oh, is this letter? And she was like, no good, no good. She
No
even wrote
good.
no good, scribbled on this. She's like, I just feel like he has too much going on. You know, there's some bad energy around him. He's either bipolar or something, but he's not in a good space. And I was like, wow, that's crazy, because me and this guy had just stopped. He just ghosted me. But I was just like, who is this K? Who is this BMTR? So then I feel like I haven't been really, making what Susan say, like my Bible or anything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago, I found out who the K was. Because when we were at the ATM at the beach, I was like, I know who the K is, Moni. And I told Moni a K that we both know. And I just assumed that it was that K. But then 2 days ago from now, I got a random text message from somebody who starts with a K, asking, like, point blank period, like, hey, how are you? I responded. The next message, like 2 messages down, I would love to take you out on a date. Like,
Mm-hmm.
straight to the point, straight
True
to the point.
story. True
And I was
story.
like, oh, okay. And I didn't even, like, it didn't hit me until maybe like 2 hours later. I called Simone. I was like, Simone, I know who the K is. This person just hit me up asking to go on a date. No good.
No good. Susan
No
warned you.
good.
No good.
Yeah. And then recently, another guy asked me out on a date. Two guys today. Somebody asked me out if he could take me out on a date. And that same day, that the K guy, somebody named with a P, but this P is not on here, so I don't think that's gonna last. But he asked to take me out on a date too. So I don't
Don't
know,
forget, girl,
but
first name, last name. It could be first name or
oh
last
yeah, it
name.
could be first name, last name. But all in all, I had a good experience. This is not everything that Susan spoke with us about, but it did help me to relax. It was good to get some reinsurance. Now, I'm not gonna like I did with my other experiences. I put it in my back pocket, and it's just something that I came back to revisit, because I don't want to go by and then she say, "Oh, you're gonna marry somebody." She didn't say this, but if she was to say, "You're gonna marry somebody whose name starts with a B," your name Bernard, your name Barney, your name Billy. Nope. Okay, I can't date you. Like,
Right.
I want to live life as I would if I did not know this information. But
Exactly.
like I said, I went through going through it. I mean, I went to the reading because I just felt like on that day I needed to see Susan. I didn't know it was gonna be Susan, but she was dope, y'all. Like,
Yeah, I'll go back to her. Hey, girl,
I
I'm
will go
back.
back to her too. Yeah, you're gonna be like, I'm back and I'm living in Bushwick.
Right. Look, I made it over here. You was right. You was right. All I'm
Right.
saying is, if she's saying that I'm gonna move over there, that means I'm gonna be able to afford to live over there. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, come on, money. I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming because it's expensive as hell to live over there, and I know what I want and I know what I deserve. So
Yes.
come in,
Yes.
raining down
So
dollars.
you're saying that you would go back. Would you recommend Susan or any psychic at all for somebody else?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if they're open to the experience. If you want
Mm-hmm.
to, try something different. And, you may just be at a point in your life where you just want to hear a perspective from someone else. Like there's so many different routes that you can go about it. I see no reason why not to try
Yeah.
a psychic reading or a tarot reading.
Yeah. I remember while we were sitting there, because we did go back, because I had a question for Susan. I had to come back, get my money's worth. But not just the money's worth. Like, we literally, Simone and I kept talking about it on the boardwalk. So I was like, I don't remember what she said about this. I gotta ask her. So I heard people walking by and saying, that's not good. You can't mess with that stuff. So for me, if you believe like it's witchcraft or against your religion and things like that, fine. I'm not gonna like push you to do it. But if you're thinking about it and you like indecisive or anything like that, and you're open to having a psychic reading, I'll say go for it, And what really hooked me onto it was the Long Island median when we were, is it median or medium? I think medium. When we were younger, like middle school age, or yeah, I think middle school age, she used to come on TLC, and she used to like be able to connect with spirits, and everything that she was telling people, like at the grocery store, walking down the street, wherever she saw them, strangers, they would be like, oh my God, like crying, like, bro, like, thank you. And
Yeah.
then everybody knows I always go back to Kim Zolciak and everything that Ruth told Kim. that was going to come in her life actually it actually came to fruition. So I do believe that, some people have these natural gifts or psychic abilities that they can, connect with those things. For me, I wouldn't go like on a monthly basis. I know some people have like memberships or they speak to psychics weekly, however often they do it. I wouldn't go that much. I would go again.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna go. I give myself a few months. I wouldn't, maybe like every 6 months or something. If then, maybe once a
Yeah.
year. I don't see myself going often. I don't think I want to know that.
No,
I
I
think
think that would be too much.
I burn myself out. Like
Mm-hmm.
just go with the flow of life and just see how things come about instead of trying to get answers all the time.
Mm-hmm. Just
So
live life, live in the moment.
exactly. But yes, go y'all. Don't be scared.
Yeah, it's a good experience.
Go with a friend like we did. Shoot, take some of that pressure off so it don't seem as nerve wracking.
Mm-hmm. There were a couple of people in there who came with a friend. When we went back, we had to sit there and eat. What was I eating? That calamari with no flavor.
Oh, that calamari was trash. It's terrible. Oh my gosh.
It was just, it didn't have no seasoning at all. And the sauce was
Ugh.
watery. But anyway, you can bring a friend. And the first time I ever went to a psychic, I brought a friend too. So if you don't want to go by yourself, see if your friend wants to go. But, it's good. It was a good experience. And no, I don't feel like I was haunted, no voodoo, no nothing
Right.
connected to me. I'm fine. I'm fine. So yeah.
Plus, there were people that were saying, "Oh my gosh, she's really good." Like people were saying good things about her too.
Yeah.
Aside from those that didn't want to try it out, but those that did go, we overheard them saying how they enjoyed
And they
the
were walking out.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. Shout out to Susan at the Seashore.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
All right, so today's scenario comes from HuffPost.com. I'm going to read it to y'all. The topic is neckties in the closet. A year and a half or 2 years after my father died, I interviewed a medium for a story. After the interview, we had lunch and he asked if I wanted a reading. I agreed and I told him that for the most part, I wasn't going to confirm or deny anything he said. I didn't tell him about my father dying. He began the reading. He told me that a short, chubby woman with red hair was there, and she kept saying, Ethel, Ethel. My grandma was a short, chubby woman with red hair and looked just like Ethel Merman. A bit further into the reading, the medium said, There's a man with Ethel, and he has a message for you. He wants you to tell Ruth that he loves her. Little did the medium know that my mom and dad had been married for 35 years when my dad died, and they were the most madly in love people I've ever met. Or that my mom's middle name was Ruth, and he always called her Ruthie. And he was the only one. Everyone else called her by her first name, which was shocking. With the hairs on my neck already standing on end, the medium said, There's more. He wants you to tell her that she can get rid of the neckties now. Does that make sense? And I was stunned. I responded, Yes. Even though it's been quite some time since he died, she hasn't been able to bring herself to get rid of his clothes yet. I called my mom after the reading and told her what the medium said about my father, supposedly saying he loved her. She was crying when I said, Oh, and you still haven't gotten rid of his clothes, have you? She said, Well, actually, I didn't tell you, but I finally cleaned out his closets and took everything to the Goodwill 2 weeks ago. I said, That's so weird. The medium said that dad said you could get rid of his neckties now. It was time. My mom began to cry even harder and said, The only thing that I kept was his neckties. They're still in his closet. There's no way the medium could have known that. I didn't even know that. For Christmas that year, my mom gave my two brothers and me quilts made of neckties, his neckties.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
To not have said anything and just like spewing out this information. Like, who are you?
A medium.
That's crazy.
And who
That's
sent you?
I'd be a little my nerves would be on edge with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the only thing she had left in the closet were the neckties, and he was telling her that she can let
Get
go
rid
of the
of.
neckties.
Yeah, like I said, ever since I saw the Long Island medium, I just like, yo, some people have this ability to connect with spirits and things. So and it's good that he asked her permission, because
Right,
I imagine that he probably was sitting there and we saw the spirits or felt them or whatever they go through and they see and feel. It was nice that he asked her permission before he just randomly blurted that out to her. Because
right.
I don't know how I would feel. Like, I have the people that I consider my guardian angels are my aunt, my late aunt, and my late grandma. And I be wondering, like, do they be trying to tell me if I'm doing stuff dumb, or, like, if they be trying to send me messages. So if somebody randomly came to me and said something like that, I would probably be spooked. Like, bro, I did not ask. I did
I know
not
I
get
would.
consent for that information. But I wonder if I would, if somebody came to me and said, like, hey, I'm a medium and blah, 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 and they asked my permission, I wonder if I would be open to that. Because that's different than a psychic.
Yeah. Hey, I did have somebody stop me once. They were like, "Oh my God, you have such a strong aura. Do you mind if I give you a reading?" It was the creepiest thing ever.
What did you say?
I was like, sure. And I honestly can't even remember.
What the reading was?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what you said. The most specific thing that I remember is she knew I was sleeping with a light on at that time. How the hell she knew that? I did not know. I had to call my mama and tell her that she knew I was sleeping with a light on. But she said I had a really, really strong aura. Like, she was drawn to me and she wanted to give me a reading.
I can't imagine. I'll tell you if it happens, though. If somebody come up to me and ask me if I want a reading or something like that, I'll let you know what I do and what they say.
It's time for announcements. Ooh, time for announcements. It's time for announcements. Ooh,
Hey,
time for announcements. You got the intro song?
yeah, you got a different song every time.
All right, y'all. First up on the announcements, we have our September question of the month, which is, what is your ideal first date? Man, we are in September. Oh my gosh.
The 9th month.
The 9th month. Like, this year is flying. Well, it felt like it was going slow because of COVID, but the year is flying. Anywho, back to the question of the month. What is your ideal first date? Answer on the website. As a member, you'll be automatically entered to win a Love Loud t-shirt. Also answer on our IG. You'll be automatically entered to win 2 ice, y'all. So let us know, what's your ideal first date? Where you going? What you want to do? Let us know. We want to know what you want to do.
Yes, and speaking of question of the month, for the month of August, we want to give a shout out to Sienna. She was our question of the month winner for last month. So shout out to her. Congratulations. You will be getting your prize in the mail soon.
Yes, mailing that thing out.
Next up for our announcements, we have our Spotify playlist, which each and every Wednesday, Moni and I battle it out based on the quote of the day. We share a song that we think fits best. And you, our supporters, our lovers, our friends, our followers, get to vote which song we will use on our playlist. So if you're not already, feel free to go to Spotify and follow, subscribe, whatever that button says.
Right.
On Spotify. We got to figure out what that button says. Follow our Spotify playlist and enjoy it. I said last time I enjoy it when I'm cleaning the house, when I'm doing dishes, when I'm riding around.
Dancing.
Yeah, it's a good playlist. So shout out to y'all for helping us to put it together.
Yeah, thank y'all that actually be voting too. I see y'all, some of y'all be swiping past my story and don't be picking a song. I see y'all. All right? Stop doing that. We want y'all for real. All right, and next up, we want y'all to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you will get our videos for the question of the month, as well as Truth Carpet episodes if you prefer to listen on there. And then we're also going to be having some other lovely things coming up soon. So every time that we write a blog, we also post videos for that as well. So stay on the lookout. When you subscribe, you'll always get a notification when you hit that bell, so you don't miss out on anything on our channel.
Yes, and also, we want to thank everybody who's supporting us. I know I say it every week, but I really am grateful for the people who support us in the different mediums that you can. But if you love and you're enjoying what you're hearing from us, what you're seeing, what we do, be sure to tell a friend and let that friend tell a friend. If you're sharing our podcast with people, You may be listening to us on Spotify. You may be listening to us on Apple, YouTube, different mediums. Let your friends know that they can search in their favorite podcast platform, Truth Carpet. Because not everybody has Spotify, not everybody has Anchor or these different things. So just let them know they can search Truth Carpet, or they can go to our IG page and go in our link in the bio and then find out which medium they want from there. But we want, everybody to enjoy this. We have fun doing this, and we thank you for listening.
And thank y'all for the feedback for those that have been listening too. We appreciate when y'all let us know what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? This is a collaborative thing. We do our thing, and you let us know how we doing. Feedback, give us a review. Email us a review too, and we'll put it on our website.
Help us be better.
Yes.
And our last announcement is
subscribe to our website and receive a free download of the Note to Self journal. You'll receive it immediately in a PDF when you go to our website and enter your email. The Note to Self-Love Journal is filled with journal prompts to help you show yourself some love. If you need to release some type of tension as a way to meditate, if you love journaling, this will be perfect for you. Let someone else know that's also into journaling. Just put on in your email and you will have it right away. Promise you will love it. We should actually make a second one and add some poetry prompts in there. Would y'all like that?
Let us know in our DMs, email, or text messages if you know us personally.
Right. We'll add a second part and add some poetry prompts in there. Make it extra special. And that's it. I think that's all we have.
Yes.
For this episode of Truth Carpet. Number 10. 10 episodes in.
Yeah, that's dope. If you are a psychic or have been to a psychic before, this is random because this is not in our notes, but I would like y'all to email or DM us and let us know your thoughts based off of like psychics or the psychic energy, how you got into reading. That would be dope to know about. That would be dope if we could interview a psychic.
Right, do a part 2 and have someone on.
That would be dope.
So let us know if you know somebody or it's you and you would like to chat with us.
Yes, let us know. But thank you so much, Susan by Seashore. Thank y'all for listening.
All right, y'all. Have a good one. See y'all. Hear from us in 2 weeks. I always say see. Y'all can't see us.
Bye.